This is Methlodis with Terminus Forge for another update overview for the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, patch 1.02. Restructuring what we did last time for the video, we'll go through the major points at the very beginning. These were the ones covered in the devs patch notes posted in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth Steam discussion forums. The link to that post will be in the description below. 1.02 is overall a smaller patch than 1.01 and covers more specific startup crashes and game-breaking bugs that have been afflicting players since the launch. Specifically, these are the white texture issues for OpenGL 2.0 users, Windows disappearing on startup, crashes on startup, startup crash on Linux with shader errors in log, and some missing achievements. They also fixed problems with the music pitch during the ending sequences and some gameplay-related issues. Though they have not posted any details about those, I'm guessing they are leaving those out to avoid spoilers related to items and abilities. And now for an in-depth look at these changes. The white textures seem to be a continuation of the issues that players with older hardware and computers who can't support OpenGL 3.0 were facing since launch. From the devs. White textures. Players using OpenGL 2.x due to older graphics and hardware had an issue where many textures in the game were white. This should be fixed in 90% of the cases now. If you're using the OGL 2 beta, make sure to opt out of the beta so you can upgrade to 1.02. Many thanks to the people who helped us test this over the weekend. With this fix, it seems the devs have resolved most of the major issues with these users who are still using OpenGL 2.0. This was originally caused by the devs not testing on anything else other than OpenGL 3.0 compatible machines, so all of it didn't come across in any of their testing before launch. Luckily, with the access to the Steam beta program, they were able to get the portion of the users experiencing these to opt into the beta and sort that out with direct communication with them. As a reminder to everyone, if you want to avoid these types of issues in the future, please upgrade your graphics cards or chips to the most up-to-date drivers. I'll put a link in the description to the OpenGL wiki that goes over how to find the right drivers for your hardware. If you are still experiencing issues with OpenGL 2.0, don't be afraid to send messages to the devs, whether it be through the Steam discussion page or directly to their email, which they did post in the notes. Windows users were experiencing the game disappearing or minimizing when they tried to start up the game. This wasn't a crash, as users could still open the game with Windows macros or shortcuts, but in any case the devs said this has been fixed for now. Windows disappearing on startup. This happened to players on Windows. The game window would show up for a short amount of time and then disappear while the game music was still playing. This issue should be fixed now. In case some of you still experience this, there is a trick to make the window reappear. Press Windows left or Windows right, the little key with the Windows logo, and one of the arrow keys. I haven't experienced this, but the fix does work for other programs in Windows that have the same issues, or if you just want to simply flip through the programs. For Windows 7 users, there's also another macro in which you can hold down the Alt key and flip through the programs by tapping Tab. Other users were still experiencing major crashes. Most of these had been fixed, but one was caused by broken or corrupted options.ini files. The devs believe they have fixed this, but for those that still experience the problem, the devs have made a small patch. Crash on startup. This was caused by a broken options.ini and could be resolved by deleting the file. The game can detect and repair broken INI files now, so this should be fixed too. Linux users have been experiencing their own startup error, which the devs believe involved shaders. The devs are still looking into this, but have made some adjustments to the Linux version that will hopefully have the issue resolved. Startup crash on Linux with shader errors in the log. I'm not entirely sure whether this is fixed or not. The shader errors are sorted out now, and I hope this was the cause of the crash. Make sure to write to isaac@nicholas.com if you are on Linux and your game is still crashing on startup. If you are still experiencing this, do take the time to send the information to the devs. They were able to fix other major issues with community involvement, like the OpenGL 2.0 launch issues, and this is no different. Generally speaking, if you're just giving them crash or dump files, this will be enough, or just a description of what problems you're currently facing. 4 achievements were also fixed that were not unlocking for some players. I won't list them as to avoid spoilers, but you can go to the link in the description to look at the patch notes if you are curious. If you already unlocked the requirements for these, you may be able to unlock them without having to perform them again by going to the stats page in-game and hitting Alt plus F2. This was an earlier fix for similar issues, so it may work with these ones, though I can't test this, so no promises. Well, that was the overview for Rebirth version 1.02. Hope this was of help to those previously being affected by the issues. The devs have been working non-stop to support the game after launch and continue to repair many of the issues that have been affecting the community. For more of these overviews in the future, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you could please tell us what we could do to improve the videos or the information provided in future takes. Anyway, thanks guys, this was Methlodis with Terminus Forge, out.